So Gwen has gotten changed 5 consecutive patches in a row and about a total of 7 or 8 times in the past few months. And the last Gwen guide I made was way before she even got adjusted, so I feel like I am long overdue with kind of updating you guys on the Gwen playstyle and teaching you the new best builds, best items, is Gwen dead, is Gwen still good, and how to play towards her strong suits, and also how to overcome the weaknesses. There's going to be a lot of good information here for any skill level of player, and general advice for climbing, even if you don't necessarily play Gwen. If you guys want to learn more about improving at League, I've also created this program that's linked in the description. It has a lot of insane knowledge about how to improve at League, how to master Gwen, and I'm also going to be adding every single Gwen matchup with more of a long form style to it as I play them out in my own games. There's actually a free tier list for top lane matchups right there, so go check it out. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this guide, and let's get right into it. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about all of the recent changes that they've done to Gwen. After this, I'm going to get into specific runes, summoner spells, builds, matchups, team fighting, and also the game plan that you want to have to win on Gwen. So I think the first thing we should do is just check out the most recent patches and just see what Riot has actually done to Gwen and how much of a difference has it actually made. So if you open up the Gwen patch history, the first thing you see is they reduced her armor growth, they reduced her monster damage, and they reduced her AP on her Q. That's just one of the many changes they did. They also nerfed her E damage, nerfed her Q damage, nerfed her W resists, nerfed her base health, her base armor, buffed her ult slow, and brought a lot of power to her E in the early game. So pretty much, I'll summarize, all of these Gwen changes just shifted her from being a super weak laner and a late game hyperscaler to more of a snowbally early game and mid game style champ. But if you manage to get a good enough lead early game, then the late game is insane. So she still scales insanely well, but she's just not the same type of like Cassid and Kale type playstyle where you can just run it down 20 times, but if you manage to get level 16 you win. No, you have to use your powerful early game and manage to get a lead big enough and snowball the game. So she's still a completely insane champion, all the same capabilities. She beats tanks, she beats squishies, she beats everything all around, but you just have to manage to get a lead and just get enough resources to the point where you can show up the team fights, one tap everybody, and solo carry the game. And again, she is one of the only solo carries left. Riot has tried to gut the snowball playstyle so much, but Gwen can still do it really well every elo, every game, top and jungle. So there is no excuses for losing on Gwen at all. As of recording this, she's also getting nerfed soon. She's losing 20 HP and she's gaining 2 seconds on the W cooldown. So these are pretty negligible nerfs, but I feel like all of these nerfs adding up has made the quality of playing Gwen a lot worse, but it's still definitely really strong. As you can see, her win rate is skyrocketing in almost every elo in top and jungle. But the main difference is that old Gwen, the win rate would go super high up as the game time progressed, but now the new Gwen, the longer games, the win rate goes down. So you want to be able to snowball and make a big impact early enough and carry the game before it gets too late where everybody scales up to the same level, and now Gwen doesn't really have huge advantages. However, once you get that ball rolling, she is really easy to keep snowballing with. Oh, and I forgot to mention, the AP items did get buffed plenty of times. So to compensate with all the Gwen nerfs, her items are actually insane right now. So we're going to get into that in the build section, but there is a really good Gwen build at the moment that you guys cannot miss out on. So for runes and summoner spells, nothing has changed super drastically. It's mainly you still want Conquer. The biggest thing that's changed though is the secondary rune page. Now for top lane, you're going to want Resolve and Unflinching. If you're versus any of these difficult matchups like Renekton, Jax, Riven, anyone who has a decent amount of CC where they can proc Unflinching a lot, and they have a lot of burst, so you can't just go the normal Biscuits and Cosmic Insight setup. You have to actually just take Resolve or else you get one tapped. This is a big adjustment due to all of the changes they made to make Gwen squisher. They nerfed her base HP, nerfed resist, nerfed the W resist. So now to compensate this in these tough matchups where you get one tap, you can go bone plating Unflinching. Unflinching also did get buffed a lot of times, so it is really good right now. For the other 80 to 90% of your matchups, you still want to take Biscuits and you want to take Cosmic Insight. Cosmic Insight is just such an insane rune, so you get the lower flash and the lower ignite cooldown that you just can't afford to not take it. However, Biscuits you can replace. You can go Boots if you feel like you don't really need Biscuits to lane, and also you want to get that extra movement speed and just save some gold on the boots. That's perfectly fine. You can go Cashback too. You get a lot of gold because her items are really cheap at the moment, so you can constantly trigger that cashback gold. It's going to save you some money, and also that's good in case you don't want to buy boots, because sometimes if you're versus range top or you're versus a champion that's going to be able to gap close onto you easily or run you down, then you don't want to go magical footwear. You want to actually be able to buy boots, because magical footwear locks you out of boots for 12 minutes. Remember that. So those are your 3 options with inspiration. You can go boots, Cosmic, Biscuits Cosmic, or Cashback Cosmic. All depends on your preference, but all three of those are very, very solid choices. For summoner spells, Flash Ignite every game for top lane. You cannot be taking TP. They literally buffed Ignite recently as well. Flash synergizes really well with your Q and your R. You can do special combos. Ignite helps you actually get a lead because now Gwen is more about snowballing, so you don't really want teleport, you want Ignite. You want to be able to get a bunch of kills, snowball the game, and carry. Teleport only helps you when you mess up, and it kind of like bails you out of your mistakes. But if you take Ignite and you play properly, you will literally never need teleport. For jungle, the summoner spells and runes are the same. You want Ghost Smite, and you still want to take Conquer, Triumph, Alacrity, Last Stand, Magical Footwear, and Approach Velocity. That is just the best rune page for jungle. I wouldn't really recommend anything else other than Gathering Storm and Absolute Focus. That is a good scaling rune page if you are any elo below maybe like Emerald or so, because your games are going to end up going very, very long compared to higher elo games. So in that case, you can take that rune page. Everyone else, Magical Footwear, Approach Velocity synergizes so well with jungle because free boots, you're not really fighting early game like you are in top lane, so you don't need that movement speed. And the Approach Velocity synergizes with the red buff, the red pet, your ghost, your smite, everything. So you can't miss out on Approach Velocity. All right, and now here is the new builds. It is really, really broken right now. For top lane, you want to go Nashers or Lichbane. You want to take Nashers when you're versus melee champions, and Lichbane first when you're versus a ranged top laner and multiple ranged squishy champions on the enemy team. Your build path is going to be Nashers, Horizon Focus, Rabadons, Void Staff, and then Lichbane last item. If you started with Lichbane, then your build is going to look more like Lichbane, Horizon Focus, Rabadons, Void Staff, and then Zhonya's or Banshees. To explain each step in the process, Horizon Focused got completely Omega buffed. It's 2800 gold and it gives 115 AP, so it is completely insane. It also gives some ability haste too, which is nice, but this item is completely overstated right now. It might get nerfed, but even if it does, I think it's still just a really, really good item. So this is a core item on Gwen. You build this every game second. Rabadons, this is situational. If they have a lot of MR, you can go Void Staff instead. But most of the time, you're going to want to go Rabadons. Since heavy AP from Nashers and Horizon, then you spike it really, really hard with that Rabadons passive. You get 30% more. Fourth item, Void Staff or Rabadons, whichever one you went third. You go the other one fourth. It's just Void Staff is the highest damage. Your priority is get a bunch of AP, then get Void Staff. Shadow Flame kind of fell out of the meta because it costs so much gold. It's literally the only AP item that didn't get cost reduced or buffed. Nashers, Lichbane, Rabadons, Horizon, they all got buffed, except Shadow Flame did not, and it doesn't provide anything super unique other than the passive, which is just replaceable by getting a bunch of AP. And for your last item, you want Lichbane if you want the Nashers option. And if you want the Lichbane option, then you just go Zhonya's or Banshees. But you really don't want to build Nashers late game. It's more for an early game spike. Lichbane late game is still pretty valuable. Nashers suit doesn't really scale as well. So that's why I replace it with Zhonya's or pretty much any other AP item. Now for a situational item, you can go Kanik Rukern. I like this into very, very heavy burst AP comps. Or if you're landing versus a Kali, since it makes the matchup pretty much unlosable. Randuin's is decent into heavy crit as well. I don't really go unless I see like 3 or 4 crit. Storm Surge is more of like a fun build. You can go Electrocute and then Lichbane, Storm Surge, and Horizon, just all the cheap items. That's just a fun build path if you want to experiment with that. But the first two builds I mentioned are just the cookie cutter build. For jungle, I would definitely recommend going the first option because Lichbane doesn't feel as well early game. It's more of a scaling build, and for jungle, your early game's already weak. So you want to get that early game build, get that early game power, and get your snowballing lead rolling. So now for abilities, I'm not going to go super in-depth into all the abilities. I've done that in all of my other guides, so if you really want to see all the analysis, either look at the tooltips or read my other guide. I'm just going to breeze over them. Your passive, you heal for half the damage you do, and it does max % health damage, so it's really, really good late game, but really weak early game. It scales really hard. That brings you your tank killing and your healing. For your Q, every time you auto attack, you gain a stack, and for each stack, you snip an extra time. So your Q just snips in a cone twice, but each stack gives you 1 extra, up to 4. So you can get up to 6 snips, and each one applies your passive. In the middle, it does true damage on half of it. For the rest of the cone, it only does magic. Skip the W for now, we're going to get to that in a minute, because that is a really important one. Your E is a dash, it goes over walls. You can make it a short dash for an auto reset, or you can make it a long dash. It buffs up your auto attacks, giving them extra range, extra damage. And if you press E, the first hit you will do refunds half of the cooldown. Something to point out here is that the changes just made your E really, really powerful. Before, you'd have maybe like 6 seconds of downtime on the E, but now you only have like 2 seconds of downtime. So your E is almost constantly up, just starting from level 1. Gwen's ult, she fires 3 casts of needles. The first one throws 1 needle, the second one throws 3, and the last one throws 5. All of them apply your passive, which gives you a bunch of healing and a bunch of damage. So now onto the W. I want to spend a lot of time on this because this is the hardest ability to use effectively and the most important one. W usage can completely make or break a Gwen player, so you want to make sure you get this W down. First of all, just think about why you're using it every time you use it to give yourself a purpose. If you're just fighting a melee champion and you know the rest of their team who's ranged is coming, then you want to hold your W as long as you can till they get close enough to start hitting you, then use it. However, if you're just taking something like a 1v1 and you're not really team fighting, then you always just want to start that fight engaging with your W. There's no better way to use it. Since if you start the fight with an EWR combo, for example, and we'll get into more combos in a moment, you buy yourself an extra few seconds where the enemy can't walk into your W and you just get a huge chunk on them before they've even started hitting you. This is what makes Gwen pretty much the strongest 1v1er and split pusher in the game. So when you're taking 1v1s, engage with your W. When you're going for short trades, you also just want to use your W, but once it's on cooldown, you want to wait for a bit before you fight anymore. And when you're in team fights, you really just want to hold your W as long as possible until the ranged champions start hitting you. You can also just simply engage onto the ranged champions with your W. But the most important thing to remember about Gwen is when your W is down, you have to back off. If you keep fighting with your W down, you are just going to die instantly. Remember, you're playing Gwen like an assassin, not a bruiser. For team fighting on Gwen, you really just want to focus on getting a flank onto their squishies, or if you have an enchanter support and a strong front line, you can front to back, which pretty much just means hitting whoever is just directly in front of you. But again, keep in mind you need that help from your team. You're not going to be able to front to back like old Gwen used to with Riftmaker because you will simply just die the second your W runs out. You want to usually just split push and get a bunch of tier 2 turrets or get as many resources as you can if you're playing jungle up until the point where you have about 2-3 items and 2 points in your ult, because that is when you're pretty strong. But the strongest you're going to spike is level 16 with 3-4 items, especially Rabadons. At that point, your R does omega insane damage, and that's when you become an okay team fighter in the mid game to like an insane team fighter. We're just literally one-shotting everybody. I've already talked about mechanics and all the other guides. Nothing has really changed, but I'm going to go more in depth into the flash combos that I've really started applying into every game. But those are more so tailored for top lane. So first you have your QE combo where you just Q and then you E the second snip into them. This is good if they're running away from you. Your E isn't up yet, but you want to get that Q damage off. Or it's also good if you want to surprise them with your E and they think, oh, he's just going to Q the minions. And then, oh, he E'd the Q into me and now I just lost half my health. The second one is the EQ combo. This is just your staple. Every time you're trading, you want to EQ right into them. You can get an auto attack off as well and then back off. If you believe you can all in, then you can just send your ults in and then go for the all in. Adding one extra layer to this, the EWQ combo is when you're almost at the edge of your W and they can't hit you and you can hit them, which is the best combo you can do on Gwen. You can also do EWR where you just replace the Q with an R, or you can do EW auto. But either way, just get used to being at the edge of your W, get comfortable moving around a little bit, and just practice this in the practice tool as many times as you need. If you can get these combos down, then you are going to be chilling. EWQ, you never really want to dry EQ into people unless you're confident you can win. So that's why I usually like to take trades with EWQ and take all-ins with EWR. You can also take all-ins with EWQ, however, the R slow is 60% and it gives you extra time for you to hit the enemy for free before they even walk into your W. So for top lane trades, EWQ, for all-ins, EWR. And for team fights, you almost always want to engage with EWR. Remember that Gwen is strong when you engage onto them and weak when they engage onto you. So you always want to be the one initiating every fight. Now for the flash combos, we have Q flash and R flash. Q flash is pretty much an unreactable version of EQ, but when you press E, they kind of have time to see it coming, but Q flash is pretty much just almost unreactable. Very few people in Challenger even manage to flash it in time, especially if you hide it well. You also do EQ flash, which gives you a little more distance. Just make sure your E fully travels before you flash, or it's going to look a little weird. You can do the same with R, just replace the Q with R, but make sure as the blue bar fills up over your hotbar, you have to flash during that window, or it's just going to throw your R from where you were before you flashed. These are both useful to follow people who flash away from you, or just to surprise people with instant burst damage. So now that you know pretty much everything you need to know about Gwen, I want to teach you the basic game plan for top and jungle. So for top lane, your game plan is pretty much identify if you have a good or bad matchup. If you want to see all the matchups, you can use my matchups guide on YouTube Shorts. I'll have that link down below. Or you can use the more longer form updated guide that's going to be created in my program, which is also in the description. If you have a winning early game, then try to abuse that as much as possible. Always push the waves in. Try to poke them out. Maybe look for kill angles, dive angles with your jungler. But you need to get a lead somehow. That is your main goal. Next, once you get a small lead, it's easy to just snowball into more and more kills, especially if the enemy laner keeps disrespecting your power spikes, and you can go for level 6 all-ins, dives. Once you reach the mid game, you want to keep split pushing, try to take both the tier 2s, and then once you hit late game, you just group with your team fight, and try to push mid or take objectives. That should be your game plan every game. I haven't really been playing a lot of jungle recently, but I'm just going to try to give you guys a quick jungle game plan for any of you guys who don't really know how to play Gwen jungle. So on jungle, you're going to want to start red pet if you're versus a lot of melee champions, and if you're versus a lot of ranged champions, you're going to want to take blue pet. I end up going red pet about 90% of my games, so only if they're like 5 full ranged comp, I'll take blue pet. And now your main goal is to just not die at all. Just get your full clears off, don't get invaded, and the way you do this is by putting defensive wards, try to ward their raptors at the start of every game. Just pretty much focus on tracking enemy jungle. Whenever they try to invade you, just try to go to the opposite side of the map and invade them back, because whenever enemy jungle invades you, there's really not much you can do. Gwen's clear got nerfed so hard, it takes about like 10-20 seconds longer than what it used to be, so I really just don't play jungle that much anymore. And it can work, but it's just a lot harder in the early game. You need to just really focus on not invading. You can't make any mistakes, because on new Gwen, if you make those mistakes in the early game, you're going to be out of the game unless they mess up really badly. So focus on not dying, just pathing away from the enemy jungler, pathing towards your strongest, safest lane, so you don't really get punished as much and they can actually help you when you get invaded. And also, just try to absorb as many resources as you can throughout the game. Take all the waves you see if your laner's dead or if they won't be able to catch it in time. Take enemy jungle camps whenever they go to make a play on the other side of the map. Just always take all of the resources, go for side lane plays, split push, take tier 2s, and your main goal is to just get so many resources that you're miles ahead of everybody. Again, like Gwen top, you get the resources, you get the snowballing going, and then you can carry the game. On Gwen jungle, you're more oriented on taking skirmishes and team fights though, while you can still split push a little bit, but top lane does a much better job. And for jungle pathing, I pretty much always just do a full clear starting with the buff. I used to start raptors or wolves before, but now that your clear is already slow enough, you really don't want to make it any slower, since those paths are usually 5 to 10 seconds longer. So your main points are just focus on clearing fast, not dying to invades, getting resources, picking up free kills when you see them, and split pushing if nobody else is on that side lane. You pretty much only want to invade when enemy jungle is taking your camps or is seen somewhere else on the map and you know they're just completely free. Play towards your strongest lanes and just try to split the map as much as you can. Alright, what's up guys? So this is going to be a live commentary game. I'm just going to try to explain my thought process real quick, and I just want to educate you on just a normal game where I'm playing Gwen, and I'm just going to show you my decision making, show you my thought process on everything, how I take certain trades, when I decide to do what. It's just going to be really educational, and this is just going to be an example game for you guys to look at. So here we got the Urgot matchup. This is a pretty straightforward one. Sometimes I'll go barrier, but I didn't really think I needed it this game. Especially after they nerfed it, I kind of stopped taking this matchup, but Flashing Knight, standard rune page. I have Cosmic Insight, I have Biscuits. This setup is pretty good here because Unflinching isn't really good against him. He only has one form of CC. Bone Plating, it's really easy for him to proc it. So I just went the normal setup. My plan in this lane is to pretty much just fight him early game and try to get prio if possible. If he contests too much, I'll just back off and give it. But pretty much post level 3, I can edge his Urgot E, and then his E will just go right through me. So whenever I EWQ, he literally just can't press E. So I'm able to trade him for free, and that's the plan. Level 6 I win, I should outscale him, and we have a really good team fight compared to them, so we'll win team fights, I'll win in the side lane. I just want to be careful about getting picked off by Pantheon ult. So that's pretty much all my yapping for the game on my plan. And now it is time to execute. So the second the wave comes in, I'm going to try to grab my Q stacks instantly, because if I get some Q stacks, I'll be able to out-trade him once he E's, but if I don't have any Q stacks, he's just going to win. So it looks like he's walking up, he kind of wants to contest. He's trying to zone me off a little bit. So he already procced the shotgun. I can safely walk on this side. Getting some good trades onto him. The way he's pushing into me, so I'm not going to get my level up first, but it's not the end of the world. He's going to hit his level up off of that minion. Yep, we have to respect it. So actually, I'm just going to let the wave push into me. I actually kind of stopped fighting for prio as much after Gwen's gotten nerfed so much. It's kind of hard to just stat check level 1 like you used to be able to do. I'm just going to let the wave crash, farm it under turret. Okay, we got all the CS perfectly. He warded in my jungle's camps, so we know the ward's there. I don't want to hard push this, I just want to slow push the wave in. I'm gonna get level 3 off of this minion. He respects it. I'm gonna try to zone him off a little bit. So I managed to zone him off of 2 melee minions, or 1 melee minion. That's pretty good. So we don't really know where enemy jungle started. Oh, almost missed that one. So I'm gonna crash this wave. Then I'm just gonna try to get some vision, put a ward down here. There's Pantheon. He's gonna flash probably. I'm gonna stick on top of him. Nice. Really good, we got 2 kills for free. I'm surprised their jungler actually fought me there, because I would have almost been able to get a kill 1v2, even if my jungle wasn't there to back me up, so that was interesting. Urgot's gonna TP, I'm gonna go in this bush and reset. We're probably gonna get Blasting 1, Dark Seal refillable, or Blasting 1, Boots refillable, something like that. Okay, he almost stopped my recall, I didn't get it off, so we're gonna get that by... So now I have red buff, it's gonna be really easy for me to just run him down. He still has flash, but he has no TP. The E back, you know, just get back in time, get that XP. He doesn't quite get the plate, so that's good. So I'm much stronger than this guy now, I just want to push my lead. I'm gonna try to zone him off minions, fight him whenever he tries to walk up. I'm just completely zoning him off the wave. He's literally just missing all the XP. Walk back up to get the cannon. If I can hold this wave long enough, I could potentially dive him if I get ult. Well, if I was gonna level up, it would be so good. I can't quite dive him because I don't have ult or ignite. I'm gonna try to get a plate. I'm gonna try to get a plate, and then I'm gonna try to proxy next wave. We see Pantheon bot, so I know there's no risk for me doing this. I'm actually gonna look mid here now. Quay really wants to push that wave in, he's low mana, and I'm just gonna E over the wall and get a free kill. He knows he's dead. Free kill, nice. Now I'm gonna go back top. I still save my ult. I don't want to waste my ult because then when Urgot gets ult, he could potentially kill me. So now I'm gonna walk back up here. I'm gonna get my free kill. Oh, he's pulling the wave. That's interesting. I'm gonna hug the wall and try to run him down. Okay, so we managed to get his flash. I kind of missed all my ults, but that's fine, right? We got his flash. Probably wasn't gonna kill him anyways the second he flashed. That's fine, but now I have no ult, so... I'm gonna flash away. My jungler should be able to clean it up pretty easily. Nice. I think Wei is in that bush, maybe. Oh, he's not. I'm gonna crash this wave, then I'm gonna leave. Okay. So we are in a really, really good spot. I'm gonna walk to this bush because last time he tried to cancel me there. Definitely Nashor's Tooth game. I'm actually gonna sell my pot and I'm gonna buy Sorcerer Shoes. Just so I can get that extra movement speed. It's nice so I can dodge his E. I could probably juke his ult as well and his Q. And also run him down. Now that he has no flash, boots, I can run him down a lot easier. I'm just gonna hard shove this wave and run straight there. Actually, let's let the plate die first, and now let's go. I'm gonna ignore this wave, I just wanna run straight here in case Pant's on it. Since I saw Urgot walk down here, it just made me think that they wanted to start it. Okay, so they actually haven't started it yet. I have time to push. Zerga actually managed to roam. I should have pinged that out for my mid laner. That was my fault, but I think it should be fine. Wants to take this plate proxy and then go help down grubs. Actually, looks like he doesn't really need help. I'll walk here, help him in case, because it looked like Veigar, or not Veigar, Hue was gonna come for a second. He's gonna take this. Now I can leave. Urgot probably took this timer to reset, so I'm just gonna hard shove this wave and try to get a plate. Oh, he actually stayed. Pantheon actually could ult me here. That's the only thing to be careful of. Yeah, his flash is down for 5 more minutes, or no, for 2 more minutes. So until 11. Nice. Got the kill. We got the turret as well. Pantheon's probably on dragon, so I'm not really gonna worry about it. If Sunway's here, it's like whatever. I'll probably die, my jungle would kill him. Yeah, that's all good. I mean, I'm just really surprised he's there still, because he was top for a while, and then I assumed he would win bot. That's fine though, we still got the turret. So the next thing we're gonna go Horizon Focus. I'm just insanely strong. I'm 4 kills, almost 10 CS per minute. So I'm in a really good position to just keep snowballing. I don't even know what it is recently. I'm just playing against the most vegan players ever. Like, they're not really fighting. They're just pretty much AFKing. So it's hard for me to super snowball and punish my lead, but I'm just gonna try my best. If I ever see this guy mess up, I'm killing him. Okay, Urgot's TPing to the dragon. So this is... I waited long enough for him to mess up. So now he messed up. I'm gonna take this tower shot to spawn my grub. And then now I'm gonna get this plate. I mean this turret. But now Hue is here. I can probably kill Hue. I'm trying to bait him a little bit. He's not really walking up though. Okay, that was super weird, but it worked out. Maybe we can get out. W in 2 seconds. Alright, we're out. Not bad. It's probably not worth for me to flash on that guy, but... my pike should be able to kill him. So that was interesting. Entire interesting sequence, but we got out. Someone TP'd, Hue's TP'd. My plan was to get the kill and get the turret, but since their entire team was there, I ended up just getting the kill and having to run away. But normally I would just kill and take the turret. I didn't see anyone else on the map though, so it was actually pretty risky to go for that. Okay, nice. They have no TPs, and the entire team's dead, so I might actually be able to get the turret. We'll see. There's also a small chance Urgot recalls and comes here. Nah, I won't have enough time. I have to leave. outside my Horizon focus, I'm really strong. We're gonna go Rabadon's third. They're not building any MR yet. Yeah, Urgot was going top. Good thing I reset. I don't really want to fight. I want to mainly just keep farming. So I'm gonna actually go bot here to split push. I could go top and fight, but I feel like with no flash, it's a little weird. Especially if I get like Urgot flash E'd on or something like that. I'm gonna push bot lane. We see Hui there, we saw Urgot top, so nobody is here right now. This is completely free. Alright, so we're gonna go for this dive. If I stay next to the turret, he actually can't flip me. Oh, so he actually just flashed into my W, which is unlucky. My team should be able to clean it up though, so it's all good. This is the exact thing I was worried about, by the way. So I assumed we were gonna fight top, but instead they just all came to me, and then now I had no flash, so I just died in the fight. That's fine though. Ended up working out. I just assumed that my team was actually gonna fight top side, but they actually went bot and hovered me. So now that they took the tier 2, the only objective for me is to go top, take that tier 2. So I'm gonna go top. Okay, that was a little risky. Almost died. I'm just gonna take this and I'm just gonna reset. I'm gonna reset, get my rod, and I'm just gonna run mid lane. Okay, Misfortune's going mid, so I'm actually just gonna go catch bot, which is fine too. So now the plan at this stage in the game, I just want to farm up till my Rabadon's level 16 spike. In between now and then though, I'm really strong, so I could take fights in 1v1s, 1v2s. But my main objective is just get to Rabadon's and level 16. Atakan is spawning bot side soon. We just saw Pantheon enter the jungle there. So if I walk up here, I actually just might die. I'm gonna play a little safe while my team's top. I will sit in this bush though. I feel like if Pantheon comes, I might be able to burst Urgot before we can get here to save him. Yeah, there he is. I actually probably can burst him. Alright, since he hasn't walked up, I'm just gonna assume he's rotating up, so I'm just gonna push. We can give the Rift Herald, we don't really have to fight it. Okay, we actually got it, so I'm just gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna get an inhib here, 100%. So I got that kill, nice. I'm gonna push this, get the inhib. They actually got the reset off, so I have to back off. I'm my item in base though, so it's huge. And I'm only 2 levels away from 16. So that was really good play by me. If I go to the team fight, it's always a flip, but if I go to that side lane play, it's always guaranteed gold, no matter what. That's why I went for it. I'm gonna catch the mid wave real quick so I can get my item. Never mind, the guy's there. I'm gonna take the raptors. Quick little 100 gold raptors for my item. And now we hit it. So this is just a pretty well played game. I think I inted a little bit. It's harder for me to focus while I'm like commentating the game, of course, but played pretty well. Didn't play too greedy. We got some kills early from just having good lane setup and having good Gwen mechanics. I know that I can edge his E, so whenever he tries to E me, it just goes right through me. So pretty good game so far. My team wants someone to help them with Atakan, but actually, I believe I can just go push top. One type to them, don't start, let me split, so they know. I edged the E, so it went right through me. Their entire team is actually here. So actually we do start it. We just got free Atacon. They came to 5-man me, I got Urgot's flash, got a kill, and we get the Atacon for free. So that's really good all-around play. There's another world where they go Atacon, and it's me and Urgot top lane 1v1. I would have killed him, took the turret, took the top inhib. And we would have maybe won the fight, maybe not. But either way, that was going to be a really, really good play. So it's all about just like knowing where to be on the map. Usually you want to be opposite to the objective. Unless your team, you're like really confident they need you to win. But I feel like my team is pretty strong, so they don't necessarily need me. They can do fine like just without me. So we're going to go Void Staff next. I don't really see them building MR, but I assume soon enough like that Urgot's probably going to buy Force of Nature. My team's already doing just fine, so I'm just going to keep pushing top. Team's doing fine. I'm gonna get vision down. I don't see Urgot anywhere. He could be sitting in this bush or something, trying to cheese me. I'm gonna check it. He's in there, yep. Ooh, so close. I mean, I got the turret, so it's ended up being worth, but that Karma Redemption actually saved him. That's so sad. Got the turret, 700 gold in my pocket. Not bad. Alright, so now at this point, there's really nowhere for me to split push. So at this point, I'm level 16. I have my items. Now I want to just group with my team, and we just win. Like, we could have grouped earlier probably, but I don't really feel confident, so I have that level 16 spike. Your ult does so much more damage, and the cooldown's like really, really short. So you're on, like, so you're just able to constantly fight. Look, 55 seconds. Especially with that haste from Horizon Focus. It's really, really good. We'll also, in the background, try to farm up to Void. Not too important of a spike since he's only just now starting to build some MR. Everyone else has no MR. I'm just going to try to walk up edge of the turret. Okay, kind of wasted my ult here. It's fine though. See, look at that damage on the R3. Like, it's kind of insane. Even though I don't have ult, like, look at the cooldown. It's already almost back up. If we get some kills here, we do end up getting Baron. I'm actually going to reset help mid lane. We play for Baron, though. Actually, they have to reset. They can't keep pushing mid. I'm gonna let my Veigar stack the cannon. Nice. So we can get this inhib for free. We can probably end too. Okay, so I ended up dying for that, but we pretty much killed almost all of them. And we get the mid inhib as well, so not bad. I'm gonna get a rod next. Okay, we'll kill their jungle again. It's kind of unfortunate. This game is not like a solo carry. I definitely played good, but it's not like one of those games where I'm completely just stomping their team. In the last game I played, I was actually doing that, but we ended up losing. It was kind of unlucky. So this is attempt 2 of recording. Oh, it's actually not over yet, I think. Maybe. Alright, perfect. Now I can get a quick montage clip. Wow. That guy is so fast I can't hit the ult on him. We can just play for the Baron here, probably. I'm gonna try to steal this red buff if I can. Use my W when I start the Baron, so I do as much damage as possible to it, and I don't get the debuff. Alright, it's already gone. Nice. So now I have my ult back up, we're just gonna go group, end the game. I'm just gonna try to engage on Ezreal, he seems to be the most fed. So I'm actually probably dead here. Actually, we're fine. Well, actually, we're losing. If they get distracted fighting, I can try to walk around. Okay, Pantheon flashed on me. We end up getting that kill. So it looks like the game was actually not over. So we're gonna have to lock back in real quick and end this game, I guess. I'm gonna try to go sneak the inhib real quick. So here's my ult to zone, and I was able to get that inhib. Now we want to play for the next one, if possible. I don't have my W yet, so I want to wait. I need to wait for my W again. 10 seconds, and I can go get the other inhib. We just have to play really slowly, play around the W cooldown and the ult, and then should be free. So I have no W, don't fight. No W, we just don't want to fight. I'm gonna resend and get my item real quick. I'm actually gonna get Banshees, because look, I can get Banshees and I can buy Pop. So I get a lot of value from doing that. Also, it's good for like the Urgot E or the Panth W, now they can't just insta-CC me. So it's pretty good. I'm gonna push the mid wave, then reconvene with my team. We're just gonna go end the game. Alright, so I got them all low, now we end the game. Nice. If you guys enjoyed the guide, just sub, leave a like, drop a comment if you have a question. I'll try to answer them. And yeah, we're gonna have a lot more educational content coming soon. I have a guide how to master any champion coming up, mechanics guide, and we might do like a top lane macro guide or specific jungle tips if you need them. Just let me know. Alright, see you guys.